Now, if you have to respond quickly, now we're talking about, I mean, I know that it's standard operating procedure for us now that I'm going to get a phone call from you saying, you know, Mayor, we're 3-4 days out from a major storm. We're thinking we're tracking it. But we still, every now and then, we get hit by something we did not see coming. It's the thunderstorm in August of 2002.
Yes.
We had barely a clue. And we can spend a lot of money on something like that. How do we respond quickly?
Well, basically, we can have the emergency operating center up and ready to go within the hour. With the volunteer fire department and the police department and the first aid squads that we have, they're ready immediately. Public Works, Fred Migliaccio, we got a little inside with him also because he's the OEM coordinator for West Long Branch. So he also has a heads up what's going on. So he is also in contact with myself and you, as you know, Mr. Woolley, our business administrator. Yeah, we talk constantly, and that's basically how we do it.
Now, one of the things that I'll never forget is obviously nobody had warning of 9/11, of the planes hitting the Trade Center, but we were ready to. We had things in place by 4 o'clock that afternoon that I don't think most of the public ever realized we had done.
Yeah, that was in the middle of all that. That was one of the city's finest hours. I mean, everybody came through, even down to the citizens. We took basically Monmouth Medical Center, shut it down. We put up a tent. We had security there for a secondary triage area in case we got numerous. We had all kind of reports. At one point, we were told we were going to get 700 people.
Right.
Another point, we were going to get only 50.
By by 2 o'clock,
2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we were fully operational. And then we were getting citizens coming in with trays of food, water, everything for the emergency services, whatever they could do. The tent was donated. I mean, the porta-johns, everything was donated.
I mean, we thought up until late afternoon, and I think we started to get a grips on how bad the tragedy was, that we were going to get a massive amount of casualties out of New York. We even, I remember we had the road cleared so that if they were getting off the ferry in Highlands, they were getting to Long Branch in minutes with
we had police officers at all the traffic stops, and we were basically ready to go.
Depending on your point of view, fortunately or unfortunately, we got almost nobody that day.
Nobody. I think we wound up with 5 or 6 people.
Guys who had,
and 2 of them were basically walk-ins.
Right, and they had to get their, because they'd gotten covered with debris and they needed some help. So we're ready to go with warning and without warning. What other things are there that you do as doing that? Because in the Office of Emergency
basically, we now have an emergency response team in town that we just put in place about 2 years ago. We had wrote a grant to the Department of Justice in 2003, and it was accepted.
How much money was that?
It was $188,700. And with that, we now have a hazmat team formed in the city of Long Branch. We basically right now have 23 certified hazmat technicians.
What's hazmat? I know what it is, but hazardous
material spills. We handled, when we had the anthrax scares, we handled 117 of those calls. We handled just basically...
More than just in town?
More than, we handled just basically spills right now, too. Not only hazmat of terrorism nature or anything like that, but we get an oil spill. We just recently had to close down 3rd Avenue for about 2 months ago for about 3, 4, 5 hours. We had to call in different agencies because we had a very bad diesel spill. We handle that. We just, whatever emergency, we're basically prepared for it, and we're trying to take care of.
What are the, I mean, you're talking about most of these. I know that we have the police department, the fire department, Public Works, you. I mean, everybody's out in a storm.
Yes. Also, we have the, which I chair as the OEM coordinator, it's called the LEPIC, the Local Emergency Planning Committee. That consists of 53 various members of the city of Long Branch. We have the Ministerium, we have Swords Authority, all the agencies, Public Works, Monmouth Medical Center, yourself is on it. We have Mr. Woolley as our public service announcer, basically, or man to get
days like that where they come into play. Having a hospital in town is a huge asset.
Absolutely. We train with them 2 to 3 times a year. Also, we have our tabletop exercises that we do in different One time we would have a terrorism scenario. Another time we do a hazmat scenario. Just about 2 months ago, we did a major fire at a paint plant scenario.
And what do you do?
We basically sit around a room. Each agency has a table, and we work a problem. We have a company come in, they design the situation for us, whatever the disaster is. They give it to us, they put interjections in throughout the night, and we have to work the problem, just on the tabletop as if we're an actual event.
Let me ask you something, because we're about to wrap up. Now, you've been working, I mean, when you started doing this, you were purely a volunteer.
Yes.
And you had your own business.
Yes.
I got smart a couple of years ago and hired you.
Yes.
And you work in public works now. How many hours a week does this take? I mean, because most of the guys who work with you are purely volunteers.
Yeah, we average probably 50 to 60 hours a week.
Just focusing on
Focusing
total
on,
man hours.
on total man hours.
What's the budget for emergency management?
Right now it's at $30,000.
And we've been bumping it up a little bit.
Bumping up a little bit as we need it, yes.
But you know, it's obviously it's a job. You didn't take it for the money.
No, I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
I always have enjoyed it from the time I was a kid with different storms. I'm a storm person. I like to watch it. I like the lightning and the thunder. I love the snowstorms, and basically I really enjoy what I'm doing.
Well, we're glad to have you doing the work. Thanks very much.
Thank you.